Hello everyone! Today is June 14th. I mentioned in a previous wedding vlog that I'd hoped to vlog while we were on our honeymoon, but I didn't actually get a chance to vlog during the honeymoon, so I would love to tell you about it in this vlog. So for our honeymoon, we went on a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise with Disney Cruise Line. We sailed on the Disney Fantasy from April 28th to May 5th. This was actually the same itinerary that we sailed before in September of last year. However, that one was shortened due to Hurricane Irma, so it was great to finally take a full 7-night DCL cruise. This honeymoon cruise was absolutely perfect and wonderful. We had such a fun time the entire cruise. So basically what I'd like to do is just summarize each part of the cruise in short segments. Enjoy! We were in stateroom number 7501. It was a deluxe inside stateroom on the forward part of the ship. This was my first time in a deluxe inside room, and I did like it. The last Disney Fantasy cruise we did, we had a veranda room. Of course, I'm very glad we got a deluxe inside because a deluxe inside has the split bathrooms and the regular inside does not. Now, one of the things that I found very interesting and likable about this room was that it was very close to a laundry room. I was very excited about this fact, even though I only did laundry twice while on this cruise. We were actually directly 4 stories beneath the Senses Spa and Salon, and more on that later. It was definitely enough room for the both of us. One thing I wanted to say that was not specific to our stateroom, but I don't know where else to put it, so I'm going to say it here. On embarkation day, we had some really sweet surprises waiting for us. Paul's bosses gave us some really nice gifts. We had the Touch of Romance package, which included a bottle of champagne, a box of chocolates, a red rose, and 2 DCL robes. We were so touched by this kind and generous gesture. Not to mention they gave us some stateroom credit as well. Also, Mark G from our Facebook DCL group also gave us a gift of stateroom credit as well as other goodies. So I just want to give a shout out to Mark G, admin of our Facebook DCL group. I also want to give a shout out to a few members from that same Facebook group as they left us a few goodies at our door. One of the members gave us a drawing, and then another one of the members gave us a handmade scrubber in the shape of, I believe it was Minnie's head. It was either Mickey or Minnie's head. I would like to mention our stateroom host. His name was Tushar, and he was from India. He was friendly every time we saw him in the hallways. He always left us towel, animals, and creations. And on one of the nights in particular, he left us a pair of towel swans with real rose petals scattered on the bed. It was very sweet. So I wanted to list all the port adventures that we did. Now, Disney calls their excursions port adventures. These are ones that you book through Disney, so they call them port adventures. So I wanted to go through and mention just a little bit about each of the port adventures we did. In Cozumel, we did scuba diving, and we did 2 dives, and it was a really good experience. It was a small-ish group, so that was good. One of my favorite parts about this port adventure, about the diving portion, is that one part our dive guide led us through this tunnel of coral, and it was just so cool. I would have loved to do more of that. And then in Grand Cayman, we did Stingray City. We had a really good time. Something we might want to consider for next time going to Grand Cayman. So we might want to book through a different company and hopefully do a smaller group, because the port adventure is fun through Disney, but it's just such a big group, and I feel like we didn't get as much like personalized time, I guess. So we would love to maybe find an excursion that goes out to Stingray City where we can spend more time with the raise and like more time hearing from the guide. And then in Falmouth, we did river tubing. This was our second time in Falmouth, and our guide was really good. We went tubing down the Martha Brae River, and we learned about the history of Jamaica. And at the end, we were at the Good Hope Estate, and we got to enjoy a little bit of the pool. Paul did the cliff jumping, and we both did the slide there. And then last but not least, we did Castaway Ray Stingray Adventure. We were originally going to do the watercraft adventure, but due to the weather, like it was really windy and rainy, it was canceled. So we did Castaway Ray Stingray Adventure instead, which was fine because we were kind of considering doing it. I really enjoyed it. Paul had already done it before, and it was really cool for me to see how the cast members had trained the stingrays at the feeding stations. And we also had an optional moment where we could snorkel in that area. The water was really cold for me, but I did think it was really cool that I saw a barracuda. So our servers, we had excellent servers. Our main server was Alan, he's from India. Assistant server was Budi from Indonesia, and then head server was Nemanja from Serbia. They were all so wonderful. They treated us with care and respect, and they were very friendly. Alan was so good about, before we came in for our dining time, he would go check with the chef and see what they could make for me that night, and just always check that there was something for me to eat, because I don't know if I mentioned this anywhere, but I am vegetarian, and I prefer not to eat too much dairy, but some of it's okay. So I thought that was really great how Disney was so good at accommodating different dietary requests. One particular instance was when we went to, the day we went to Castaway Cay. Upon finding out we were going to eat at the adult beach, Alan, I think probably Alan and Nemanja probably both set this up, but they made it so that someone brought over some rice stream, which is dairy-free ice cream, so that I could have it. And then Alan also prepared a large fruit plate for the both of us as we sat down. So it was just a really fantastic serving team that we had on this cruise. So the dining rooms that we rotated through in this order was Royal Court, Animator's Palette, Enchanted Garden, Royal Court, Animator's Palette, Animator's Palette, and Enchanted Garden. We chose a second seating again, which was at 8:15 p.m. We also had Palo Brunch on Thursday with Boris from the Ukraine. He was our server, and he was really great. We got to talk to him about his experience working with Disney, and he seemed to really enjoy working here. He had worked on 2 previous cruise lines before, but he said so far Disney was his favorite. So I'm really glad that we're both really glad that the crew members are treated very well, hopefully. And I just want to say about the food, I was satisfied with it. Every menu in the main dining room had a vegetarian section, as well as if you talk to your server, I feel like they could possibly talk to the chef and bring something out that you might like. I always didn't feel afraid to ask for that, but pretty much most of the time, I would say I was satisfied with everything that was on the menu.